The murder of Tim McLean by Vince Lee is one of the most gruesome and shocking incidents in Canadian history. On July 30th, 2008, 22-year-old Tim McLean was traveling on Greyhound bus 1170 from Edmonton to Winnipeg after finishing work at a fair. He was described as friendly, calm, and exhausted from long travel, so he sat near the back of the bus, put on his headphones, and rested quietly. The bus was on a long, isolated stretch of the Trans-Canada Highway, with few towns or landmarks nearby. A few hours into the journey, Vince Lee, a 40-year-old man traveling alone, boarded the bus during one of the stops. Passengers reported he behaved somewhat strangely, moving stiffly, appearing confused, and clutching his belongings tightly. At first, he sat alone. After some time passed, he unexpectedly changed seats and sat next to Tim, who remained unaware because he was listening to music. Everything appeared normal. There were no conversations, no argument, no eye contact, no interaction at all between the two men, according to all witness statements. Within minutes, Vince Lee launched a brutal attack on McLean without any clear provocation. He produced a large knife and stabbed McLean multiple times. Reports indicate he inflicted around 60 stab wounds to various parts of McLean's body. The assault was swift and savage, targeting McLean's neck and abdomen. During the attack, Lee decapitated McLean, removing his head in a horrifying manner. The bus driver reacted quickly and pulled the vehicle over near Portage-la-Prairie, Manitoba. Everyone rushed out of the bus in fear, including a young mother with a baby, elderly passengers, and tourists who were terrified by the chaotic scene.
I was just reading a book. All of a sudden I heard a guy screaming. I turned around and the guy sitting right next beside me was standing up and stabbing another guy with a Rambo knife, pretty much. It was a big survival knife like this in the throat, repeatedly. Told everybody to get off the bus. Everybody started to get off the bus. The guy still kept stabbing him. Everybody got off the bus. Me and a trucker that had stopped and the Greyhound driver ran up to the door to maybe see if the guy was still alive or we could help or something like that. And when we all got up, we seen that the guy was cutting off the guy's head. He was cutting off the guy's head there, and then he saw us. He came back to the front of the bus, told the driver to stop.
The driver and two passengers attempted to help Tim, but the situation inside the bus became too dangerous, and they were forced to retreat and close the doors. The driver engaged an emergency system to disable the bus, preventing Vince from driving away or leaving with the vehicle. Passengers stood outside on the roadside, shaken, crying, puking. Some attempted to keep the attacker trapped by holding the doors closed. Others called 911 repeatedly, urging police to come immediately. Witnesses later said the waiting, just standing helplessly on the highway, felt endless and terrifying. After the stabbing, as authorities later discovered, Vince Lee engaged in acts of cannibalism. Reports indicate that he consumed parts of McLean's body, his eyes, and a portion of his heart, including some of his flesh. During the following police investigation, officers found McLean's severed ear, nose, and tongue in Lee's pockets. This detail shocked the nation and contributed to the public outrage surrounding the case. When the police arrived at the scene, they found McLean's body dismembered in a horrific manner, and Lee was observed walking along the highway with McLean's severed head in his hands. He exhibited a calm demeanor, showing no signs of distress or remorse. Vince Lee was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Psychiatrists later concluded that at the time of the bus attack, Vince Lee was suffering from an untreated severe form of schizophrenia, experiencing powerful delusions that distorted reality completely. According to medical experts, he believed he was in danger and misinterpreted his surroundings. In 2009, the case went to a judge. Psychiatrists from both the prosecution and defense agreed on the same conclusion. Lee did not understand what he was doing. He did not understand the consequences. He was acting under extreme psychotic delusions. Because of this, the judge found him not criminally responsible under Canadian law, which applies when a person is so mentally ill that they cannot comprehend their actions or tell right from wrong. Lee was placed in the Selkirk Mental Health Center, a high-security psychiatric facility, not a prison. He was not allowed any form of release without medical approval and board review. This decision led to significant debates in Canada about mental health issues and the criminal justice system. The murder of Tim McLean is not only a story of tragedy, but also highlights the complexities surrounding mental illness and public safety. The disturbing manner of his death, including the cannibalistic elements, has left a lasting impact on the Canadian public, sparking discussions about justice, mental health care, and societal safety. McLean's family has fought for justice and greater awareness regarding mental health issues in the wake of this horrific crime. Over nearly a decade, Lee responded well to treatment. Doctors testified each year that he was consistent with medication, cooperative, nonviolent, and remorseful for what had happened, though he struggled to understand why it occurred. His release happened in slow stages. 2012 to 2014, escorted walks on hospital grounds 2015, short supervised outings into the community 2016, limited unescorted passes 2017, full release under medical supervision. Upon release, Lee legally changed his name to Will Baker and continues to follow strict treatment conditions. The case deeply affected the entire country. Tim McLean's family suffered unimaginable loss and strongly opposed Lee's release. Witnesses and bus passengers struggled with trauma for years. Carol Dedeli said in a statement to APTN News, "When my son was decapitated, I thought it was the worst thing that could happen. Then I learned his killer would be set free. That's wrong and should never be."